Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah. This year is the year of consistency. 2024, we're being consistent and we're being disciplined and we're accomplishing everything that we have always wanted to do. So if that sounds like your jam, if that sounds like something you want to do, make sure you leave a comment down below letting me know what you're doing this year to stay consistent. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and let's go ahead and get into today's video. Per usual, I might be 23, but y'all, I forget. So I have a list. I just have to keep a list, and on my list I have 6 ways that we can start being consistent this year and implementing our strategies so that this year can be amazing. So number 1, establish a morning and a night routine. I feel like this is something that I consistently say simply because this sets the tone of how your day starts and how your day ends. Even if it's just 3 simple things that you do in the morning and at night, that could change your life so much. So for me, I have consistently started to ice roll, or I have like a little ice face mask thing that I would do in the mornings. I would do my full skincare and then I would journal, or I would just take a few moments to pray and just get my mind right for the day. Those were my 3 things in the morning, and I have tried so hard to be so consistent with those. Last year I was very inconsistent, but thus far in these 8 days that the year has started, I have been pretty consistent, so kudos to me. Number 2, we need to plan. We have got to have an action plan as to how we're going to make this year a great year. I will be the first to say that I did not understand initially the point of having like a planner or having like written visuals out of what you needed to do for the year. That was like just not me. Like in college I would always say that was not me. I didn't know how to use a planner, but y'all, I gotta say, excuse me, I took like a calendar on Canva, and I listed out all the days that I wanted to put out content, and I put out exactly what content that I wanted to put out on those days. And something about that, like printing it out and being able to hang it up and see, really has kind of told me to be accountable. Like, you have to do this by this day, you have to have this film by this day in order to post it this day. It's just held me like accountable. And so even if you're not a person that writes in a planner, you know, you can get a visual aid, you can color, you can draw it out, you can use, like I did, Canva, you can use your iPad, you can use, there's a bunch of different apps where you can like have digital planners. I don't know if I'm there yet, but I'm trying to be. I think for me, I need to create it myself and then post it like somewhere that I can see it, so that it's kind of like an accountability thing. I'm also thinking about getting an actual calendar where I can write stuff out on, like one of those acrylic calendars where I can just put like a dry erase marker and write out like what I'm gonna do, what's coming up, even down to like birthdays and stuff, because I feel like I try to have this mental calendar in my head and it's starting to overwhelm me, honestly. Like, it's starting to overwhelm the shit out of me. So I think it would just be easier if I didn't try to keep a mental catalog and I actually had something to look at. So even if you plan like for just a month at a time, I think that that's going to be something that I implement. I tried to do like 2 months and it started to like overwhelm me, so I just planned out January and a few things for February, but I didn't force myself to complete February. What I am going to do is towards the end of January, then I'll revisit February and start planning those things out for February, just because I get a lot, I can put a lot together in January and I can have that set, but I don't want to overstimulate myself and try to think of content in February that I want to post, because I don't know, I might think of something different, or I might try to get in tune with the holiday that's in February. I don't know, but that's probably what's gonna work for me. I know a lot of people use planners, and I know my mom like uses a planner and she like color codes everything, or like she puts little stickers next to stuff. That's just the way that she does it. I know my best friend does a similar version to that. I know people do all sorts of different things. So as long as you have a plan as to how you're gonna execute everything and you can visualize it and you can see it, whatever way that works for you, do that. Just make sure that it's planned out and you're able to hold yourself accountable and look at those things. Number 3, set attainable goals. That was a thing for me last year that I feel like maybe overwhelmed me, and as you can see, I get overwhelmed really easily. So I would set these goals, and I would set like 10 goals to be achieved in like 3 months, and it's like, girl, you're gonna like burn out very quickly. So set attainable goals that can actually be met, even if that's just like starting by being consistent in your routine. that's a goal of mine, like just to be consistent in my morning and my night routine. And so starting small and just checking those boxes off, you know, it takes 21 days to form a habit. So if you can just start small with small goals and, you know, write you out some big goals, make those maybe long-term goals, but start with small goals and then work your way up to accomplishing those big goals. Within that, you need to make sure that you're rewarding yourself, because as humans, we like to be rewarded. And so we don't like to do many things for free. Let's just be honest, we don't. So if you're accomplishing the goal, you hit 21 days of being consistent in your morning and your night routine, maybe you buy you some new skincare products. Like, that's something that is small, but it's also a reward. Like, you know, after you've accomplished 21 days, you maybe get like the new expensive skincare brand, or you buy like a skincare hairband. I don't know, like whatever you want to do, girl. Like, I don't know, but that's something I would probably do for myself. I have a really hard problem with my problem is that I like to reward myself when I'm half-assing, and like that's not cool. And I need to make sure that I hold myself accountable to not do that, and actually set the things that I want to do and the goals that I want to attain, and wait until I meet those goals to give myself something. You know how I be. Like, you know how I be. So, number four, you have to be reasonable with yourself. You are not going to be able to be superwoman, like, off the bat. Like, you're not going to be able to sit there and do, like I just said, 10 things at one time and be like, okay, I'm a master at all of them. No. So you need to be reasonable with what kind of goals you're setting for yourself, and you have to know yourself in order to do that. Because if you set these high ass goals for yourself and you're not there yet, like you still at level 1, like you still here, and you set these goals all the way up here, and then you trying to fill in the gap in between, off rip, bitch, you're gonna fail. Like, let's just be real. Like, you might not be able to do all that at one time. Like, you might not be able to set a morning routine, wake up at 5 a.m, meal prep. Like, you might not be able to do all that at one time. So work your way up. Be reasonable with yourself and be kind to yourself, because you will burn yourself out very, 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 very quickly. I know, like, I'm one of those people when I'm excited about something, when I feel like I have this idea of like, okay, this is what I want my life to look like, and I want to do it now. I try to do all of it at one time, and then I can't stay consistent, because I start this one thing, then I start something else, and I start something else, and I start something else, and then I burn myself out. I'm like, fuck all of it. I don't want to do it anymore. Like, no, I don't want to do none of it. We can kiss my ass. And that's my fault. It's like, I do that. Like, that's something I have to work on. That's something I'm working on this year. Number 5, be intentional. Set your intentions for yourself, set your expectations for yourself, and know that your life could be so much different 6 months to a year from now. But it all is on you. You have got to be intentional and specific with the goals that you set for yourself, with the disciplines that you set for yourself, with the consistency tactics that you set for yourself. You have got to be your biggest cheerleader, your biggest supporter, your biggest accountability partner. It has got to be you. Nobody else like can be you. So you have to figure out where you want to be in 6 months, because that doesn't determine. Y'all, it's raining outside, and I hope y'all can hear me because it's raining hard. Anywho, you're the only person that can change your entire life very quickly. Like, I think of that all the time when I see like rappers or singers, or like just people who have overnight success. It's like they were so consistent long before that it turned into a reality, and so it looks like that they're just like overnight superstars, or like they were like so successful quickly, but it took so much work behind the scenes. And it might be 6 months for some people, like it might be 3 months, it might be a year, but your life is determined on what you desire to put into it. If you put in full-fledged, you go full force, then you can have everything that you want. But if you half-ass, you'll get half-ass results. Number 6, last and not least, you know, over last year, I think in one of my last videos, I stated that I learned so much about how discipline and consistency go hand in hand. And if you are not disciplined, you can't be consistent, because consistency by itself is just not enough. So number 6 is consistency takes discipline, and vice versa. To be disciplined is to get up on those days that you may not want to be consistent. It is to set out action plans and put those in action and to actually attain your goals. To be disciplined is such a funny way of looking at things, because it's almost like forcing yourself sometimes to do things that you may like not feel like doing that day, or you kind of are like, oh, like this is not working for me anymore, like I just want to do it. But discipline is the key to success. You have got to be strategic. You have got to have a plan. You have got to set out goals for yourself in order for you to be consistent. You have to have that thing, like I said, I have a calendar mapped out of what needs to be put out on what days, because that's my way of being consistent. The discipline part comes in where I myself am getting up and I'm like, okay, today I have to post a video, today I have to record, today I have to edit, today I have to post. It's a cycle. That's the consistency part, but the discipline is sticking to the plan. So our big goal for this year is to be consistent and to be disciplined. Those are going to be intertwined for the year. That is what our goal is for the year, and that is how we are setting the tone of 2024. We're going to have the absolute best year yet, but we have got to stick to the things that we tell ourselves. We have got to be consistent, we have got to be disciplined, and we have got to be our biggest supporter. I hope y'all enjoyed today's video, because I really enjoyed just sharing with y'all like how I'm setting my tone for my 2024, and hopefully we can do it together, because I feel like that when you have somebody holding you accountable along with you holding yourself accountable, like it just really fuels the fire. Like it really makes you want to keep going when you have somebody else in your corner, or just like a little group of people that is having the same goals and values that you do. So if y'all like videos like this and y'all are committed to being consistent and disciplined this year, make sure you leave a comment down below and let me know some tips that you might have for being consistent and disciplined this year. And we are going to stop bullshitting in 2024. We're going to have everything that we've ever wanted, everything that we've ever desired, and we are going to attain all our goals. So thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all in my next video. Happy New Year!